Welcome to the 2021 Deloitte Top 200 Awards.
E ngā maunga whakahi o te motu tēnei ka mihi kia koutou katoa. Nau mai, haere mai, whakapiri mai, ki tēnei whakapāhotanga e whakanui ana i ngā Pākehi whakaihu waka o te motu. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko mai korn, toko, ingoa, ko aho, ti, kai whakahaere o Deloitte. On behalf of everyone at Deloitte, thank you for joining today's Top 200 Virtual Awards ceremony. This year's finalists understand the watershed moment in time we are at. They've had to reimagine their business to ensure future growth, and they've made commitments to address climate change, transform relationships with technology, and ensure their people remain the number one priority. They've done an amazing job, and my congratulations to all this year's Top 200 finalists. I'd also particularly like to thank our sponsors and our judges, who were once again very ably led by Fran O'Sullivan. They have the difficult task of deciding the winners, a job which we are incredibly supportive of, but are likewise pleased that we are not the arbiters. Thank you once again for joining us this afternoon.
Tēnā koe Mike and kia ora tātou. And a very warm welcome along to the Deloitte Top 200 Awards for 2021. I'm Stacey Morrison and I'm very honoured to be your host for today. Now, it's no secret why we can't be together in person, but we are very delighted to be able to mark this special occasion and celebrate with you virtually. So here we are at the HQ of our exclusive media sponsor, New Zealand Media and Entertainment. Tēnā koutou, thank you so much for having us. Now, many of you will know that the Deloitte Top 200 Awards are Aotearoa's most prestigious business awards, recognising and celebrating outstanding individual and management team performances among New Zealand's largest companies and trading organisations. Our theme this year is Think Beyond, Business Reimagined for Future Growth. Our experiences throughout the continued disruption and uncertainty has brought fresh perspectives and new opportunities to take bold strides forward and look ahead to what's next, whether that's adapting to talent challenges and a more purpose-led culture, addressing climate change or transforming relationships through technology. The people and companies we are honouring today are truly leading the way with this. Now, despite all the trials of the last few years, it's amazing to think that today we can celebrate some talented individuals and organisations who've achieved incredible results in arguably one of the most unpredictable business climates the world has ever faced. Perhaps more than ever, today's finalists deserve our sincerest congratulations and admiration. Now, before we get into our first award, it's especially important to acknowledge the unwavering support of our sponsors. Our exclusive media sponsor, New Zealand Herald Premium, and our award category sponsors, 2 Degrees, Amazon Web Services, Barfoot & Thompson, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Barr, Hobson Levy, ServiceNow, Tax Traders and the Aotearoa Circle. On behalf of the Deloitte Top 200 team, thank you so much, tēnā rawa atu koutou, for your support of these awards. Now, just a quick note. For more information on the Deloitte Top 200 2021 finalists and winners, head along to top200.co.nz. And if you'd like to tag us on social media, please do, and use the hashtag Deloitte Top 200. Okay, time now to give out some awards. The Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award recognises an outstanding change in business performance. Our judges consider the relative improvement in all performance indicators over the previous year, alongside other ways the organisation has changed and the impact of those changes.
With an impact spanning the full construction value chain across Australasia and the South Pacific, Fletcher Building has undergone a significant turnaround over the past few years, a result of its 5-year plan launched in 2018.
Despite another challenging year for the sector, In 2021, Fletcher Building experienced increases across all its key financial metrics, exceeding its own profit guidance and delivering a boost in net profit after tax to $305 million after a near $200 million loss in the year prior. This strong result reflects the significant work that has been carried out over the past 3 years to reset and simplify the business. It's clear that Fletcher Building has a sustainable base from which it can drive further performance improvements and growth as it continues to make targeted investments. This was recognised by the market with a total shareholder return in the past year of 95%.
Agricultural supplies and services business PGG Wrightson operates across the rural supply chain throughout Aotearoa, New Zealand. PGG Wrightson saw a 33% lift in its EBITDA in 2021 based on solid performances across its retail, fruit-fed supplies, livestock, wool and real estate businesses after disruptions from COVID in the previous year.
The market has responded favourably to PGG Wrightson's strategy, with total shareholder returns in the past year of 52%. The result comes from decisions made in recent years, including divesting its seeds business and a recalibration of its cost base and systems. PGG Wrightson is a key player in an important New Zealand sector, and its solid performance and strong balance sheet means it can consider both internal and external growth opportunities.
Integrated media company New Zealand Media and Entertainment, NZME, has put a plan in place to transform into a digitally focused media business, with this strategy being rolled out across 3 core segments: audio, publishing and real estate platform OneRoof.
This turnaround strategy has seen digital revenue play an increasingly significant role in the company's earnings, with both digital subscriber revenue and digital publishing advertising revenue reaching record highs. The market has responded positively to this strategy, with the share price climbing from a low of just 18 cents in April 2020 to above $1.40 at the end of 2021. NZME has maintained the cost reductions that were implemented in 2020 through the 2021 financial year, allowing it to save a further $20 million in costs. In addition to these savings, NZME's strong performance over the past 3 years has enabled the company to fully repay its debt.
To present the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performance Award, here's Kirk Hope, the CEO of Business New Zealand.
Thanks, Stacey. It's my pleasure to announce the Business New Zealand Most Improved Performer Award goes to New Zealand Media and Entertainment. Congratulations to you, New Zealand Media and Entertainment. Great win.
Kia ora koutou. I'm really delighted to accept this award on behalf of everyone here at New Zealand Media and Entertainment. We've got a team here of 1,200 passionate people across the country who are available 24/7. They deliver on our purpose of keeping Kiwis in the know. Their dedication and commitment to transforming our business over the last few years has been truly phenomenal. I'd really like to thank all of you who are watching this. You will likely come across our brands on a regular basis, whether you're reading the New Zealand Herald or Business Desk, listening to one of our many radio brands like News Talk ZB or The Hits, or you're listening on one of our podcasts via iHeartRadio. You may also be ensuring you're getting the best property insights through OneRoof. Thank you for ensuring that we have the best brands in the market and for making the active choice to subscribe or advertise with us on a daily basis. These have been really tough years. They've highlighted the value of a truly engaged and ready available board of directors. I'm lucky to have such a talented board led by Barbara Chapman, who have provided ongoing guidance, counsel and support. They've been intimately involved in our strategic direction, which has allowed us to be recognised today. We also have the ongoing support and active interest of our investors, and the opportunity to connect with them over recent years has been really invaluable. Finally, I'd really like to acknowledge Business NZ and Deloitte for your support of the business community in New Zealand. Without your interest and your investment, we wouldn't be here today celebrating the best of New Zealand. I applaud your commitment. Thank you.
Waiho mā te tangata e mihi, but thank you and congratulations to our big boss, Michael Boggs. Adaptable, innovative and tenacious, New Zealand businesses continue to find pathways to achieve outstanding and sustainable growth.
Committed to the provision of high-quality healthcare and animal care products, EBOS Group has been a consistent market leader in shareholder returns, with 2021 contributing to an over 50% increase in value, and in the last 20 years posting an enviable 20% annual increase in shareholder value.
In 2021, EBOS completed 5 acquisitions in medical devices and animal health, but also focused on internal investment, with capital spent in 36 new chemist stores in Australia and a new animal health manufacturing facility. 2021 saw record revenues for the company, exceeding $9 billion for the first time, supplemented by a record net profit after tax of $188 million and an 18% return on capital employed. EBOS has also played an important role in New Zealand's COVID-19 response, devising a cool store supply chain which enabled the government to bring the Pfizer vaccine into the country. And they're also beginning their journey to be an industry leader with their ESG strategy.
Vulcan Steel has been thriving as an Australasian-wide privately owned steel distribution company for over 20 years, converting to a publicly traded company in November 2021.
Over the past 5 years, Vulcan has executed annual revenue growth of 8% and net profit growth of 38%. Operating revenue reached a record of $732 million, while net profit achieved a record of $61 million in 2021. Vulcan is on track for another record year in 2022. Steel distribution is a regional business with deep inventories and fast turnaround times required for success in each metropolitan area. Vulcan focuses on meeting its customer needs through adept placement of inventories and local steel processing capabilities, allowing it to post industry-leading order fulfillment to better meet the needs of its customers.
A household name in New Zealand for more than 30 years, the Warehouse Group has evolved from a single The Warehouse store to become one of the largest retailing groups in New Zealand, with $3 billion in sales.
2021 saw the Warehouse Group's strongest results in recent years, with an 8% increase in revenue of $3.2 billion and improved margins, producing over a 400% increase in net profit of $116 million. This growth in revenue and margins resulted in a share price posting an 80% return. The market has gained more confidence in the Warehouse Group's multi-channel growth strategy, which sees customer experience placed at the center of both in-store and digital channel initiatives. The company's improved digital offering also saw sales online increase by over 50% in the first half of 2021 versus the comparable period in 2020.
Here to reveal the winner of Best Growth Strategy is Chief Business Officer, 2 Degrees, Andrew Fairgray.
I'm delighted to announce the winner of the 2 Degrees Best Growth Strategy is Vulcan Steel. Congratulations.
It's my pleasure to accept this award on behalf of Vulcan. And I'd also like to acknowledge the judges and Deloitte for holding these awards. I also want to acknowledge the fine effort from the Warehouse and EBOS, who no doubt have great growth strategies and were strong competitors in this section. The key element in achieving growth strategies is all about implementation. I'm privileged to be part of a team of 800 people at Vulcan who aspire to absolutely implement programs to a high standard day in and day out. That's the key to our success. Lastly, I'd like to thank my wife Susan and my family for their unconditional support over many years. Thank you everybody and enjoy the evening. Despite it being virtual, I really commend Deloitte for holding it no matter what the circumstance. Well done, Deloitte.
Kia ora koutou, congratulations to the whole Vulcan team, and it's wonderful to see families recognised as well. More than ever, businesses are recognising the value of a diverse and inclusive workplace and the opportunities diverse perspectives and a broad range of talent can bring to the table.
Owned by 10,000 farming whānau across Aotearoa, New Zealand, dairy cooperative Fonterra shares the goodness of New Zealand milk globally.
Fonterra's Good Together Tātoa Tātoa program is a values-led initiative making a real difference to the inclusivity throughout its global business. Its launch during the global pandemic has enabled the company to more deeply engage with its diverse groups of employees spread all over the world in authentic and impactful conversations underpinned by Te Ao Māori values. Real progress has been made in deepening trust between Fonterra's farmers and the cooperative's employees, with both farmer and employee net promoter scores improving as a result. Fonterra's commitment to the program is very clear, and it seems set to make a profound difference for all the cooperative stakeholders over the coming years.
Entertainment business Sky City is committed to providing equal opportunities to people from all walks of life. Through their Te Rōpū Māori o Sky City, the Māori group of Sky City initiative, Sky City team members advocate for positive outcomes for Māori and ensure they have access to opportunities, support, development and community within Sky City.
Sky City's Te Rōpū Māori initiative is another strong step forward in the company's well-established commitment to be a truly diverse and inclusive organisation. The level of empowerment of the leaders of the Te Rōpū Māori initiative is exceptional, and this has enabled a huge amount of progress to be achieved in a relatively short period of time. The success and visibility of the program has been transformational for all communities within Sky City's employee cohort and has provided a model for how they can succeed in building cultural understanding and inclusiveness. The company is now working to ensure there is a sound base for Te Rōpū Māori to carry on sustainably for generations of employees to come.
Te runanga o Ngaitahu represents 18 Papatipu runanga, which make up the tribe of Ngaitahu. The tribal takiwā covers most of Te Waipounamu, and the iwi has more than 73,000 members.
Ngaitahu's Cultural Confidence program is innovative in its full immersion cultural experience carried out in conjunction with the 18 Ngaitahu affiliated marae. The experience, delivered with support by the Ngaitahu marae leaders in those regions, ensures that staff have a deep knowledge of the history and the culture of Ngaitahu and the values which are important to them. The initiative is now being scaled to include all of Ngaitahu businesses. The results have been excellent, with very high favourability ratings for the program, employee engagement, scores lifting quickly, and concerns about inclusiveness no longer being raised by employees of non-Ngaitahu descent.
To present the Barfoot & Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award, the Managing Director of Barfoot & Thompson and my old rugby coach, Peter Thompson.
Thanks, Stacey. I'm delighted to announce the winner of the Barfoot & Thompson Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award is Te Runanga o Ngaitahu. Congratulations.
A tēnā koutou katoa. Te Runanga o Ngaitahu was delighted to be the recipient of the Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award for this year. I really want to acknowledge our kaimahi or our staff members who bring with them a rich tapestry of knowledge, skills and experience, and they share this with our Ngaitahu whānau to make a difference for Ngaitahu whānui. This diversity that they bring will make a difference for us today and for tomorrow in terms of our future. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou.
Auraki mata tū. Now, in keeping with our theme tonight, the next award honours standout young executives who are prepared to think beyond perceived limitations and strive for personal and organisational excellence.
As a direct report to the CEO, Ollie has operational and revenue responsibility for Tourism Holdings in his role as Chief Commercial and Customer Officer.
With the tourism industry facing significant challenges in the last 18 months, Ollie has approached tough issues of cost reduction and revenue generation with a constructive outlook. An innovative mindset has seen Ollie identify and effectively execute on new business opportunities, including the well-known Get Moving to Get New Zealand Moving campaign. His energy and empathy for customers and his people shines through in his leadership approach. Ollie's diverse career experiences bring strong global perspective and understanding of the social and environmental imperatives faced by leaders. Ollie's commitment to continuous learning is demonstrated through regular education sessions and insight days with his customers and his team.
David's responsibilities at Ryman Healthcare are wider than those of a traditional CFO and company secretary role, extending to Ryman's wider public relations strategy and increasing involvement in sector-wide issues.
Recently, David has undertaken a significant project related to the diversification of $830 million worth of debt, enabling Ryman to commit to new projects in a period of unprecedented uncertainty. David is deeply committed to Ryman and its culture, with a deep understanding of the business and empathy for their core customers. David demonstrates a strong commercial will and focus on delivering outcomes. He impressed with his innovative approach to project control with Ryman's Build program and their new payment model for aged care.
Currently responsible for supply chain, facilities, infrastructure and sustainability, Jonty has worked at Fisher & Paykel Healthcare for his entire career.
He's capitalised on non-linear career opportunities to reach his current position, a role he loves. His leadership of supply chain management has been critical over the past 18 months, with a substantial increase in demand due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Product supply has doubled globally in this time, and Jonty's focus on outcomes has helped ensure such demands could be met. Jonty takes a collaborative approach to leadership and develops strong connections to frontline employees, taking time to get to know them personally. While he's been focused on short-term imperatives lately, he remains very committed to a long-term infrastructure plan and sustainability policy for his company.
As Tribe Lead of Technology Evolution at Spark New Zealand, Renee is responsible for 1/3 of Spark's capital investment. Her agile approach and passion for harnessing Kiwi ingenuity and innovation has seen Renee play a significant role in delivering on elements of Spark's strategy.
Renee has enormous potential, with a wide range of career experiences equipping her well for senior leadership. Her engineering degree, supplemented with business qualifications and experience, have provided opportunities that span consultancy, technology and customer strategy. Renee picks up new skills and ideas readily and balances a positive demeanour with clarity and vision. Renee is extremely committed to her role and to living up to Spark's purpose of helping all of New Zealand win big in a digital world.
Here to present the Young Executive of the Year Award, the Chief Executive of Deloitte New Zealand, Mike Horn.
Thanks, Stacey. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Young Executive of the Year Award is Ollie Farnsworth. Congratulations, Ollie.
Thank you very, very much. Look, it's not been an easy few years in tourism, but I'm hugely proud of what we've achieved at THL and the role that I've had to play within that. But I'm not alone, and I do think of this as far more than an individual award. So I have many, many thank yous, but to name a few, to our CEO Grant for your world-class leadership throughout this whole thing, to our board for your support, my executive colleagues for approaching every challenge and every setback with the same gusto, to my team for sticking it out and making a difference when others may have run to the hills, to my partner Ali just for being awesome, and my kids who seem pretty unfazed about the whole thing but manage to put it back into perspective every single evening. So thank you for this, and here is to a bright 2022.
Kia ora, Mike, and congratulations to Ollie for that beautiful and very heartfelt speech. We look forward to charting your professional growth in the years to come. Now, in a break from our usual proceedings this year, we are presenting a special Judges Award. So what better time to acknowledge the judges and the tireless work that they do in deciding our winners year on year. Our sincere and heartfelt thanks to convener of judges Fran O'Sullivan and to Jonathan Mason, Neil Pavor-Smith, Kathy Quinn, Ross George and Hinerangi Raumati Tu'ua. Our Young Executive of the Year judges, Joan Withers, Liam Dan and Rob Campbell. Our Diversity and Inclusion Leadership Award judges, Ranja Patel, Royal Reid and Simon Muta. And Sustainable Business Leadership External Judging Advisor, Katie Beath. From all of us at the Deloitte Top 200 Awards, thank you all for your time, expertise and wisdom. Tēnā rā koutou katoa. The judges have this year given this award in recognition of the hard work and sacrifice made by the entire team of one of our most respected organisations, both in response to COVID-19 and in keeping Aotearoa connected to the world. It's my pleasure to present the inaugural Judges Award to Air New Zealand. Let's take a look.
The Deloitte Top 200 Awards include for the first time the Judges Award. This award enables the Top 200 panel to highlight performance the judges feel is of importance to the business community. The judges have chosen Air New Zealand as the inaugural recipient of the Judges Award for the hard work and sacrifice Air New Zealanders have made and continue to make to keep New Zealand connected to the world and domestically during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Air New Zealand holds a special place in the Kiwi psyche. For an island archipelago in the South Pacific, having a national flag carrier is not only a prime lifeline to the world, it's also a source of pride for the many international awards that Air New Zealand has chalked up as the world's best airline. But when COVID struck in March 2020 and New Zealand borders shut hard, the airline had to pivot very substantially and fast. Routes were closed. Planes parked up, staff massively downsized, customers felt disenfranchised, the share price collapsed. Flight demand was down 95% almost overnight. As Chief Executive Greg Foran later said, it was a traumatic time. Over 4,000 Air New Zealanders, 1/3 of the workforce, departed the business. Others took salary sacrifice. But with government backing, this airline, a critical part of New Zealand's logistics, kept servicing exporters and taking their products to the world. By mid-2021, some pilots and crew had already spent more than 100 days in isolation. This was the upshot of keeping New Zealanders connected to the world. Some pilots, even found tradesmen, were unwilling to work on their homes through fear of infection. The disruption from COVID was enormous and unpredictable.
Overall passenger revenue for the airline is down 70% or $3.5 billion from pre-COVID levels. Travel bubbles have come and gone. Plans to open the international border are now shelved with the emergence of Omicron. Network planning has been severely affected. Plans to recapitalise the balance sheet have been repeatedly put off, and customer concerns intensified with the uncertainties. While impressively the airline's average operating costs have about halved, the much smaller volume of staff had to respond to all these factors while themselves living with and working through these disruptions and uncertainties, and some of whom have been the first affected with Omicron. On the bright side, prior to the nationwide lockdown in 2021, domestic performance had been fairly resilient at around 90% of pre-COVID levels, highlighting the airline's strength as crucial transport infrastructure in New Zealand. And cargo revenue increased over 70%, aided by government-supported flights, as New Zealand strived to support export markets. As judges, we noted the efforts of the board and management in their steadfastness in the face of the COVID pandemic. But we recognise that this award is actually an honour that truly belongs to the entire staff of Air New Zealand, who have strived to respond to these enormous challenges, and in doing so, have maintained strong support for the brand and the service offering that Air New Zealand provides.
To accept the award on behalf of Air New Zealand, Chair of Air New Zealand, Dame Therese Walsh.
Tēnā tātou katoa, kei te kōta nākau, kua tai mai nei I runga I te kaupapa o te rānei. Arā, ko te Deloitte Top 200 Awards. I am honoured to accept this recognition on behalf of the Board of Directors at Air New Zealand, our CEO Greg Foran, and all 8,500 members of the Air New Zealand whānau, both in Aotearoa and around the globe. Last year was possibly the toughest in our 80-plus year history. Yet every day Air New Zealanders came to work with a singular purpose to keep Kiwis connected to each other and the world. And they did so with grit and with aroha for each other and for our customers. And I couldn't be more proud of everyone at the airline. I would also like to say a heartfelt thank you to our customers and shareholders for their continued support, and the judges, sponsors and organisers of these awards for this very special recognition. He toa takatini tātou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Congratulations again to all at Air New Zealand. The Aotearoa Circle Sustainable Business Award honours companies who are creating long-term environmental, economic and social value. Our judges consider long-term perspective and purpose together with governance, leadership and accountability, along with investments, programs and projects that support sustainable development. With a legacy going back 180 years, Lion is a pioneering beverage company known for its commitment to quality, craftsmanship, community and sustainability.
Lion is New Zealand's first large carbon zero beverages company and a member of the Climate Leaders Coalition. On the employment front, Lion is an inclusive, flexible and diversified workplace. It's been a New Zealand leader in creating a culture of responsible drinking, which it calls mindful consumption, and has also been a leader in low and no alcohol drinking options. This ESG strategy has been driven globally by its offshore parent Kirin and integrated into the New Zealand strategy. It runs alcohol education programs and is a member of the responsible drinking charity Cheers. Great initiatives from one of New Zealand's largest companies. Cheers.
Kathmandu. Sustainability is central to the strategy for leading global outdoor lifestyle brand Kathmandu and encompasses all divisions of the company.
From an execution perspective, Kathmandu initiated an ESG materiality assessment to understand what the big factors were for its stakeholders. Like many in the apparel industry, it is assessed by B Corp on its ESG outcomes. This ranges from cotton sourcing, agricultural practices, offshore manufacturing workplace conditions, and its carbon footprint. Internally, these are monitored by science-based targets, including a bold goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2025. Its efforts have also been recognised by the banking community, and they have been given New Zealand's largest sustainability-linked loan of $100 million. Kathmandu is one of the clear leaders in ESG in New Zealand.
Pioneering milk nutrition company Synlait Milk's approach is underpinned by a focus on looking after people and protecting our planet.
Synlait's ESG initiatives start from the ground up with dairy farming, an industry in the ESG spotlight. It has modern processing plants and produces a range of nutritional dairy milk-based products for New Zealand and the world. In a difficult industry, Synlait's executives have bought in strongly to ESG, and as a result, the company scores well on these metrics. It strives to be a good employer in regional areas and has become part of the B Corp community, meeting those high environmental standards. In a challenging year for the company, its focus on sustainability has not waned, and it remains an industry leader with ambitious ESG targets.
Here to present the award on behalf of the Aotearoa Circle is their Emerging Director, Izzy Fenwick. Izzy is also the daughter of the late Sir Rob Fenwick, who, amongst other things, co-founded the Aotearoa Circle. Sir Rob was an amazing person and a well-regarded businessman and environmentalist who devoted his life to the conservation of natural capital here in New Zealand and Antarctica, as well as being an exceptional leader and motivator. Sir Rob passed away in 2020. Haere atu rā e te rangatira.
Thank you, Stacey. I am delighted to announce that the winner of the Aotearoa Circle Sustainable Business Leadership Award is Kathmandu. Congratulations, Kathmandu.
Kia ora koutou, everyone. It was a tremendous honour just to be recognised as a finalist, let alone win this award. And I accept it gratefully on behalf of my team who do such amazing work in this area. At Kathmandu, we aspire to have a positive impact on every element of the ecosystem in which we exist. And we hope that we inspire other businesses to greater heights in doing so. Congratulations to my fellow finalists, Sinlay and Lion, for the great work they are doing. Thank you to the Aotearoa Circle for sponsoring this award, and thank you to Deloitte for putting on these virtually in what is very strange times. Thank you.
E mihi tonu ana kia koutou katoa o Kathmandu. Our next award honours an all-rounder who has a strong understanding of and commitment to promoting high standards of corporate governance.
Currently chair of NZME and Genesis Energy, Barbara is well regarded by her peers for her broad skills resulting from a long and successful banking career, her intelligence and ability to constructively challenge fellow directors and management to think from a different perspective.
Since joining the NZME board in 2018, Barbara has played a key role in the company's turnaround after financial challenges and helped set foundations for future success. Over the past year, the NZME board also played an important role in supporting the NZ Herald's 90% campaign for COVID-19 vaccination rates in New Zealand. Barbara again demonstrated her strong leadership at Genesis Energy, astutely navigating them through August's power outage crisis. She has continued to contribute to the wider business community through her involvement in the APEC CEO Summit and the rewrite of the Reserve Bank Act.
Well known for his inclusive and amiable style backed by a strong commercial focus, Mark has consistently overseen a strong performance during his tenure as chair at Infratil.
Mark's ability to navigate challenging issues, such as the hostile takeover bid from Australia, and remain steadfast in his belief that the offer materially undervalued Infratil's portfolio, is a clear demonstration of his focus to do what is best for shareholders. Mark has made a significant contribution to the Maori economy, and across his entire governance career has demonstrated a clear vision that assets, investments and returns should be multi-generational. He was pivotal in establishing Te Atiawa Holdings, a new entity being built from the ground up, and has been on the Ngā Tahu Holdings board in 3 separate instances, stepping down as chair at the end of last year.
As chair of Auckland International Airport and Chorus, Patrick is highly regarded by his peers, the management teams he works with and broader stakeholders as an inclusive chair who brings out the best in his fellow directors and management teams. He encourages others to contribute and offers his perspective in a constructive way.
Over the past year, Patrick has taken a leadership position in the New Zealand business community by speaking up on areas where it might not have been easy, including on aspects of the government's COVID response. Patrick also robustly responded to aspects of the Commerce Commission's proposed price and quality control settings for Chorus's ultra-fast broadband network. Alongside this, Patrick has also led Auckland Airport through another challenging year including in the search for and selection of a new CEO.
Here to present the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award is the Chair of Forsyth Bar, David Kirk.
Thank you, Stacey. It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Forsyth Bar Chairperson of the Year Award is Patrick Strange. Congratulations.
Thank you, and congratulations to the other nominees, either of whom would be very worthy winners of this award. And thank you, Forsyth Bar. We live in a democracy where views are debated openly and publicly. As chairs, we represent a major part of New Zealand's economy, and our people are a huge reservoir of capability. When we have a legitimate view on matters within our wheelhouse, we should speak up, and I applaud the Ian Taylors of this world who are prepared to be open and honest while doing everything they can to help our government. Some of us chairs openly questioned aspects of the government's longer-term COVID strategy last year on issues such as saliva and rat testing, while also acknowledging the things they have got right. It is our responsibility to do so. As chairs, we need to encourage our senior leaders to debate issues openly with confidence, even when their views might be unpopular with a government or a regulator. Lastly, it's my absolute privilege to be chair of Auckland Airport and of Chorus. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank their teams for their continued dedication during these challenging times. Thank you.
Congratulations, Patrick, and thank you for those insights into what it takes to make a great chair. The New Zealand business community is rich with innovative and insightful leaders. Some of them can truly be called visionaries. So let's hear from Stephen Levy, partner of Hobson Levy, about this year's winner of the Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award.
It's my pleasure to announce the winner of the Hobson Levy Visionary Leader Award is Peter Beck of Rocket Lab. Congratulations, Peter.
Peter Beck had an early fascination for rocket propulsion. He turned that passion into business, founding Rocket Lab in 2006 and taking New Zealand into the world of space. The founder, CEO and chief engineer of Nasdaq-listed Rocket Lab has become a global leader who is redefining the space industry with ambitions that now stretch as far as Mars and Venus, making him a worthy recipient of the Deloitte Top 200 Visionary Leader Award. With a bold vision to make space available for everyone, Peter and his team at Rocket Lab have delivered more than 100 satellites to orbit across 23 missions for commercial and government partners. Peter is a hands-on engineer who continues to push boundaries with Rocket Lab's pioneering manufacturing techniques and innovative mindset.
It was a proud Kiwi moment when Rocket Lab listed on the Nasdaq last August, furthering Peter Beck's ambition for Rocket Lab to become a leading player in the exciting aerospace industry. Rocket Lab's market capitalisation climbed to $7.33 billion as it raised $1.14 billion to fund the next phase of Beck's bold space journey. Acquisitions followed, particularly Seoul Aero, which has supported more than 1,000 missions, including supplying power to NASA's solar probe and Mars lander. And all of this, amazingly, originating from a young man from New Zealand who had a vision of what could be. Beck's curiosity about rockets was apparent early. Engineering ran in the family. Instead of university, Beck started a toolmaking apprenticeship at Fisher & Paykel in Mosgiel. He later moved to Auckland to work for industrial research on precision engineering projects before founding Rocket Lab in 2006 to be an aerospace manufacturer and satellite launch service provider. Initial funding came from the likes of internet entrepreneur Mark Rocket, Sir Stephen Tyndall, US venture capitalists and Lockheed Martin. By November 2009, Rocket Lab had launched its A-Tier 1 suborbital rocket into space from Great Mercury Island
The next year, it secured a US government grant to study a low-cost space launcher to place satellites into orbit. And in 2016, Rocket Lab opened its private launch site on the Mahia Peninsula, with the first commercial flight of the Electron rocket taking place 2 years later. By the end of 2021, 109 satellites had been deployed from 22 liftoffs. Beck demonstrated his innovative streak by disrupting the industry, using 3D printing to manufacture rocket engines, cutting production times from months to under 24 hours. He continues to redefine the space industry with the rapid and cost-effective delivery of innovative, high-quality technology. As for 2022, Beck says Rocket Lab has a year packed with many missions, including the first launch from New Zealand to the moon for NASA. This Kiwi entrepreneur's dream is taking him and us to new space frontiers. Bold visionary leadership indeed, from a boy from Invercargill.
So congratulations to our visionary leader. We're very fortunate to have Peter with us right now, joining us. So Peter, tēnā koe, thank you, congratulations. And can you tell us about your passion and how you made it into this incredible business?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's like anything. It's you know, the 15-year overnight success. So you know, look, I started the company in New Zealand in 2006, and then in 2009 we sent our first rocket into space, not into orbit. And then it wasn't really until sort of 2013, 2014 where I went to Silicon Valley to raise the capital required for a project, the Electron project, which was an incredibly ambitious project. And you know, but fast forward to 2017, we had our first launch. In 2018, we had launched a bunch of times by then. By 2019, we were the fourth most frequently launched rocket in the world. And then 2020, we started our space systems division, where we actually build spacecraft and satellite as well. And you know, just today we were awarded one of the largest satellite constellations that's out there being procured at the moment. So yeah, it's and continues to be a pretty wild ride.
Well, double congratulations for that as well. And you did mention being ambitious, but what else do you think has been critical to Rocket Lab's success?
Well, I mean, a company is never one person, right? I mean, if you look at Rocket Lab, really there's a few fundamentals that I think have been, you know, key to the success of the company. And the first one is the people in it. You know, the talent bar at Rocket Lab is extraordinarily high, and everybody here, every engineer, scientist, technician, are really the most incredible people on the planet. So. You can have all the vision you want and all the ambition you want, but at the end of the day, it takes a huge team, a really dedicated team at the absolute top of their game, you know, to pull something of this scale off in a really, really challenging industry.
Hugely challenging. And you talked about your team. How does the team at Rocket Lab continue to stay ahead of your competitors?
Yeah, well, look, we run fast. We're not afraid of really taking on huge projects, and you know, the vision from day one and the direction that we were going to take this company has been super clear. So we've been you know, running ever since, and you know, we live by a number of values, and one of those is to always, you know, be incredibly innovative and push the boundaries of what others might deem to be possible and not. And you know, we also have an incredibly strong culture here of just excellence amongst everybody, and you know, we have no offices at Rocket Lab. You know, it's an environment where there's just free flowing communication and just the minimal hierarchy possible, just so that at the end of the day, the best decision, the best engineering always wins.
Kia ora, and thank you for those insights to your inspiration. And can we ask where to from here with Rocket Lab, and what can we expect to see in 2022 and beyond?
Yeah, so I mean, we joke at Rocket Lab, like a year at Rocket Lab is like dog's years. You know, 1 year at Rocket Lab is like 3 years everywhere else.
Or pandemic years.
Yeah, or pandemic years, yeah. So like, in 1 year's time, it's kind of hard to predict. But I mean, what I will say is that every year Rocket Lab has doubled in size. Last year we were sort of 550, 600 staff. This year we're 1,100 staff. So if you map the company's trajectory, pretty much every year we'll double in size, and we have some incredibly ambitious missions. We have a moon mission launching later this year. We were awarded 2 missions from NASA to build some spacecraft to orbit Mars, launching in 2024, and a really, really large satellite constellation build that we just won. So if you look at the company and including all of the subsidiaries that we've recently acquired, we have more than 1,000 spacecraft or spacecraft components on orbit, in the period of the time that the company's been running.
Incredible, and I see what you did there with the trajectory. You're heading to space and beyond, but it is really our honour to congratulate you and to celebrate you as a visionary leader. E mihi ana ki a koe. Thank you so much for spending time with us, Peter Beck.
Thank you so much.
He is, in every sense, a visionary leader. One of the key factors of a strong business is strong financial leadership. The Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award recognises a talented CFO who works to direct the financial performance and demonstrate value for shareholders and steady the ship during turbulent times.
With long-standing energy sector experience, William's career with Mercury spans 20 years, including 15 years in the role of CFO.
William is well known in the market and by directors as a highly competent CFO who thoroughly understands the financial statements of Mercury and how Mercury creates value, backed by deep industry experience and the mechanics of the energy markets. In 2021, Williams supported the CEO, Vince Hawksworth, in making 2 acquisitions for Mercury, the New Zealand assets of Tilt Renewables and the retail assets of Trustpower. These were well received by the market and saw Mercury achieve a 32% total shareholder return. William is a great example of a CFO who builds his knowledge of an industry and converts it into great strategic initiatives for his company.
Appointed CFO of Fletcher Building in 2016, Bevan has played a central role in the company's strategic repositioning, including a simplification of their portfolio and focus on performance of its core businesses.
Bevan is an example of a strategic CFO who not only ably leads the finance function, but also assists the CEO in building value for the shareholders. He has endured multiple challenges over the past couple of years, including managing a significant cost reduction program to moderate the impact of the pandemic on Fletcher's business, lowering balance sheet gearing, and leading successful capital raises and debt restructuring. These initiatives, combined with a strong rebound of the building sector, saw Fletcher almost double its share price in 2021, backed by improved margins, operating cash flows, and lower leverage. Bevan has been a key part of Ross Taylor's team that has significantly improved the outlook for one of New Zealand's largest companies. Directors of Fletcher regard Bevan as one of the best CFOs they've ever worked with.
Graham's understanding of different markets, coupled with his financial and commercial experience, has made him a key contributor during his 10 years as CFO of Skellerup Holdings. During his tenure, the company has posted an annual shareholder return of 26%, placing it among the top 10% returns in the New Zealand market.
Graham has run the finance function, given directors in the market confidence of his thorough understanding of financial reports, and used his knowledge of Skellerup's value drivers to optimize shareholder value. Skellerup has more than 75% of sales outside New Zealand, and Graham's great understanding of international finance and accounting issues has been invaluable. His work alongside the CEO, David Mayer, has also seen Skellerup post record-breaking earnings and operating cash flow in 2021.
Presenting the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award, co-founder of Tax Traders, Nicola Taylor.
I'm thrilled to announce that the winner of the Tax Traders Chief Financial Officer of the Year Award is William Meek. Congratulations, William.
Hi, I'm humbled to accept the award of CFO of the Year at the Deloitte Top 200 Awards 2021. Thank you to Tax Traders for sponsoring this award. And again, a big shout out to my competition, Bevan at Fletcher's and Graham at Skellerup, two great Kiwi companies doing great stuff here in NZ. Thank you to the team here at Mercury. Behind every CFO there's a great team. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you also to the three CEOs of Mercury, Doug, Fraser and Vince, for giving this opportunity to be CFO here at Mercury. A massive shout out to my lovely wife, Tracy, who makes this job possible and makes my life so wonderful. And finally, I'll leave you with a great tip. Don't be a dick for a tick.
And surely that is the quote of the night. Congratulations. It's now time to recognise the captains of the ship, the ones who must constantly think beyond and steer their organisation into the future. No easy task these days, but there's certainly no shortage of those who are up to the task.
Naomi joined New Zealand Refinery in 2020, overseeing the largest business transition in the company's 60-year history. She led a major business simplification, enabling the company to continue to operate through extensive periods of low refining margins and COVID impacts on demand.
She is handling this transition well in difficult circumstances with the oil companies who have had long-standing relationships with the company. This has been carried out within a tight economic and cash flow environment, and the judges recognise the astuteness and judgment of Naomi in this situation. Having overseen these transitional negotiations, Naomi continues as Chief Executive under its new name, Channel Infrastructure New Zealand, which will continue to be an important part of the New Zealand economy. A great job in challenging circumstances.
Since joining the Warehouse Group in 2016, Nick has driven significant transformation, leading to a 165% increase in profit. This has required fixing retail fundamentals from buying to operations, from systems to culture, as well as investing in the company's digital future.
Nick has applied his Northern Hemisphere retail experience for the benefit of the warehouse in a high period of change. He has overseen a restructure, new strategy and prepared the business for a new retail industry it faces. Like all strong organic New Zealand businesses, the warehouse had a definite persona. Nick's changes were necessary and he carried management along with him to preserve the good of the past while implementing substantial updates in areas including systems and online. He is a no-nonsense, researched, matter-of-fact leader, making positive change for an important New Zealand company.
David has been leading Skellerup Holdings for over 10 years. During this time, Skellerup has achieved significant revenue and earnings growth by focusing on designing and delivering critical engineered products for OEM customers.
David's a steady pair of hands at Skellerup. He has a knack for presenting a soft, inclusive, popular leadership style with people and strategy, but has a hands-on, near fanatical knowledge of process, plant equipment and design for Skellerup's manufacturing customers. David is also involved with acquisitions and their integration into the Skellerup Group, a core part of its growth strategy. He meticulously studies industries and businesses and skillfully acquires and integrates those companies, often on an uncontested basis. He seems to avoid mistakes. Skellerup has two strong business areas, both of which show consistent growth, and David has the industry skills to create a third.
Presenting the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year Award, here's New Zealand Country Manager Kate Tulp.
Thanks, Stacey. It's my great pleasure to announce the winner of the ServiceNow Chief Executive of the Year Award is David Mayer. Congratulations, David.
Thanks, it's a great honour. I'm privileged to work for a fantastic company supported by a talented team. Congratulations to the other finalists. Naomi, I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting you yet. And Nick, I think you've done a fantastic job at the Warehouse Group. I look forward to catching up with you both soon. I'd also like to thank the wonderful team at Deloitte, the judges for their time, and everyone else that has contributed to these awards. Thanks ServiceNow for sponsoring CEO of the Year. I'd especially like to thank John and Kathy Phipps, Darcy and Heather Quinn. You've supported me all my career. You've held the mirror up, pointed out my faults, and helped me become a better person. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife Yoshie, Isamu, and Monica, my 2 children. You've been supportive throughout, and I love you all. Thank you.
Tēnā rau atu koe, David. Thank you for such an authentic speech. It's our final award for the evening now, one that recognises organisations that continue to thrive despite the challenges of recent times. The Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award recognises exceptional organisational performance, considering areas such as financial measures, corporate reputation, business environment and community approach. So you can see the judge's decision is far from an easy one, which of course makes the honour all the more special.
A leading operator of express logistics businesses, Freightways has driven further innovation with structural changes to its pricing architecture, helping to drive margin growth in its core parcels operations.
Overlaid with the tailwind of the big courier wave during the pandemic and ongoing growth in parcel volumes, Freightways benefited from a much improved performance in its information management business and a first full year contribution from its Big Chill acquisition. This is the stamp of CEO Mark Trohier, who has now been in the role for 3 years. Over the year, Freightways grew its revenue by 27% and normalised net profit by 35%. This strong performance and prospect of significantly improved returns from its predominant couriers business over the coming years saw the company re-rated by the market with a total shareholder return for the year of 71%.
Infratil had an outstanding 2021, enhancing further its reputation as a savvy infrastructure and utilities investor. The company was active with its portfolio, divesting Tilt Renewables and with emerging investment in diagnostics, having bought Pacific Radiology.
This is a further part of a successful transformation of Infratil from a portfolio that had been principally invested in listed entities to its position today, where only 15% is listed, being its stake in Trustpower. Strong performance over a long period of time extended throughout the year, with Infratil now a top 10 listed company on NZX by market cap. An opportunistic takeover offer by Aussie Super was fended off, but in itself, this was recognition of the quality of Infratil's investment portfolio.
ScalarUp Holdings, a designer, manufacturer and distributor of engineered products, has been a consistent outperformer for some time and has traded well again in the past year. With the company exporting 70% of its agricultural and industrial product, COVID has posed fresh challenges, but the execution has been excellent.
Ably led by long-term CEO David Mayer, ScalarUp has also benefited from a shift in strategic focus to original equipment manufacturer customers, providing more resilient revenue and earnings. The market has re-rated ScalarUp significantly in recent years, which is recognition of this strategic shift and high-quality execution. Net profit grew by 38% in the past year, and with a total shareholder return of 114%, ScalarUp catapulted up to become a $1 billion company.
To present Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award, here's Amazon Web Services New Zealand Country Manager Tiffany Bloomquist.
I am very pleased to announce the Amazon Web Services Company of the Year Award goes to Infratil. Congratulations from Amazon.
Kia ora tātou. We're so excited to receive and accept this award on behalf of Infratil and the whole Infratil family. I know everyone here at Morrison & Co. is so excited to receive this award. When Lloyd Morrison, our founder, founded Infratil, his vision was to create a great New Zealand company, and there's no better recognition of that than this. I'd also like to recognise Marko Bogievski, the CEO who finished last year. The purpose he put in place, our purpose, is to invest wisely in ideas that matter. And our key values are remaining agile and brave. And we tried to embody that last year by continuing to invest in difficult times in our companies here in New Zealand, but also offshore, making sure New Zealand investors remain on the map globally. What do you think, Philippa?
Thanks, Jason. I agree. And we really would like to take this opportunity to just make some thank yous. First and foremost to all of the staff across the Infratil portfolio. Their services underpin our performance, and we really appreciate the effort that they've put in despite the challenges that we've all been facing. We'd also like to thank the Infratil board for the effort and the commitment that they have shown. They really do get enthusiastic about investing wisely in ideas that matter, and we feel that that's coming through in our strategy. And lastly, just a big thank you to Deloitte and to Amazon Web Services. It's great that these awards have gone ahead, and we're really proud to be a part of it, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tēnā kōrua, o te rā, tēnā koutou katoa, congratulations. Well, that's our presentation of the Deloitte Top 200 Awards for 2021. Our sincere virtual congratulations to our winners. Your trophies are winging their way to you as I speak. And also congratulations to all of our finalists. We hope that you've all enjoyed the recognition that you really do deserve. Once again, a huge mihi to our sponsors, New Zealand Herald Premium, 2 Degrees, Amazon Web Services, Barfoot & Thompson, Business New Zealand, Forsyth Bar, Hobson Levy, ServiceNow, Tax Traders and the Aotearoa Circle. For an in-depth look at all of our winners and finalists today, check out top200.co.nz and make sure you pick up a copy of Dynamic Business, released in the New Zealand Herald tomorrow on the 3rd of March. We really do look forward to seeing you all, hopefully in person, later in the year for the Deloitte Top 200 Awards 2022. This has been my pleasure, e mihi mai o hana kia koutou katoa, tēnā koutou.